Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at a pretty neat little pistol here, and what we have here in front of us is a Sig P320 X5 Legion, and this is what they call the carry model. And before we go any further, I'm going to show you that this Sig pistol does not have anything in it, and we are clear to make this video. So what we have here, this is a Sig 320, and this is what they call the Legion. And if you'll notice on top, it has a little Legion sign, and I'm going to show you a couple of the features of this thing. This Sig 320 series is one of them rabbit holes that they have gone absolutely bonkers with. They have these things in every different size configurations and everything that you can imagine, and I have several of them myself. And one day we'll do a comparison of all the different features you can get in them. But this one, I think, is what they call the Mac Daddy of them all. So let's get into some of the features of this thing. So the Legion carry one, they call it. And I don't know why they call this a carry, because we're going to go into a little bit here is why I don't think this is a carry. But when this thing came out, I saw one in a gun store. It's been several years now since they've been out, and the guy said, "Here, hold this in your hand," and I did. He goes, "Feel how this thing balances." I said, "Man, that thing is awesome. If it was a little bit shorter, I'd probably consider buying one of those." Well, that was the regular full-size one, and this is what they call a carry, so it's got the shorter barrel on it, and I did end up getting one. So the features of this gun is it's got the X5 carry grip module, which has this very ergonomic feel in it. It's got a little beaver tail here in the back, and this particular one comes with a threaded barrel. This is chambered in 9mm, by the way, folks, and comes with a threaded barrel, which is the only thing I really don't understand. Is I don't know why people suppress 9mm, because in order to suppress something, you have to get it subsonic for it to be anywhere near as effective. And 9mm, people main claim to fame is all the velocity that it has. When you cut it down to subsonic speeds, you're really losing its main claim to fame, and you're really not accomplishing anything. But that's a whole different conversation we can have in another day. But this one does come with a threaded barrel, and it does come with suppressor height sights on them. Now, these things have tritium sights from the factory, and it's got a green fiber optic ring around it on the front with a tritium insert on it. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but they're really easy to pick up. Your sight picture is really good. Now, this thing it is optic ready, but when I say optic ready on this one, it's a little bit different than most of them. It's one thing I don't like. When you remove this plate, you're also removing the rear sight, and I don't agree with that either. When you have any type of optics are susceptible to fail, and I think you need to have your backup sights that co-witness with your optic, and that's really not an option with this gun, so that could be a little bit of a negative. Now, what this thing does have is this thing has this mag well that also acts as a weight, and folks, this gun is heavy. I mean, this weight here adds so much weight to this gun that balances out and keeps the muzzle flip down on this thing. And I'm telling you what, if you wanted a flat shooting gun, this is going to be it. This is very similar to having one of these new 2011 9mm that people have. I mean, this thing's a double stacked 9mm that holds 17 rounds in a double stack magazine, has a magazine chute in it, or magwell, whatever you want to call it, for competition shooting. Threaded barrel, high sights, optic ready, very heavy, very ergonomic, has a rail on it to put any of your lights or any kind of accessories on it. Now, one of the things this thing does have, which is awesome, it's got the Sig's enhanced trigger in it, and I'm telling you what, this trigger is amazing. So I'm going to show you when I pull this thing back. It's all the take out there is. It is on the wall, and it just goes off, and I'm seeing it's probably a 3-pound trigger. I don't have a gauge out here, but here's your reset on it. It resets and then it just goes off. This thing has got an amazing trigger on this thing. Now, if you wanted a full out competition 9mm pistol, I don't see why this thing wouldn't do the same thing as a Staccato or an Atlas or something like that, or any of your double stacked 2011s. Now the difference being is this is going to be a striker fired pistol versus a hammer fired pistol, but striker fired pistols are known for their reliability, and this one has got an exceptional trigger for a striker fired pistol. Now some of your other things you're going to look at is this texturing on it is absolutely awesome. I know some of the 320s in the past, the texturing has been subpar on them, and this is not one of them. This thing's got awesome texturing on it. It's got great ergonomics, and I just wish that I could show you on camera how well this gun feels in your hands. Like I said, the capacity is 17-in-1, and I'm sure you could get extended magazines for it if you looked around, but the regular magazines are 17-in-1. They fit flush on the bottom, and it has a little Legion sign on them. And this gun comes in like this plastic case, and one of the other things that everybody knows I'm going to make fun of is it comes with a stupid little challenge coin, a little Legion challenge coin. I don't even know what that does. Don't know what it means. Do not care about it. This is the part I care about with the firearms. So this thing is a little pricey for your for a striker fired gun, but the stuff that you get in this thing, I believe, is competition ready right out of the box. Now I favor iron sights on a handgun. I just pick them up really well, and I have recently acquired a couple optics for handguns, and I actually have learned to like those too. But this is not one that I would probably put an optic on, just simply because you lose the rear sight when you pull this plate off to mount an optic on it. So that's the only thing I don't like about that. But the fit and finish of this thing's incredible on it. It works like every other Sig Sauer 320, and I'll show you when you take this thing down. You just pull this thing all the way back, make sure there's nothing in it, pull this takedown lever down to the bottom position, and the slide slides right off. And it's got the same fire control unit in it that all the rest of the 320s does, that you can lift out and put whatever grip module on it. Now this is one you probably don't want to change the grip module to, because this thing's just main claim to fame is this weighted bottom of it that balances it out, and it's got a really Sig premium fire control group in it with the flat trigger on it. It's absolutely amazing, folks. I mean, it is something else. You have to pick one of these guns up and you would know what I'm talking about. It's like no other 320 that you'll ever see. These 320s has kind of got the Glock following now. They just make so many different sizes and variations, and they have different price points on them and all that kind of stuff. But this one's one of the premium ones that you can get. It's going to be one of the most costly ones you can get, and when you pick them up, you'll see the difference in them. Just the trigger work on them, the feel of them, the fit and finish on them, just amazing on it. But very cool gun. They call it a carry gun, but I don't see how you would want to carry something that weighs this much with this weight on it. And it is kind of a large pistol. Now it's smaller than the X5 Legion with the full size 5-inch barrel on it, but it's still, I think this is a little large to be carrying around on you. And the simple weight alone would probably keep you from carrying it. I'd say this thing probably weighs more than a regular government size 1911, and that'd be kind of a cool comparison if I had a scale to sit here and weigh them out. I believe this one probably weighs a little bit more, and it is real bulky, but it absolutely reminds me of holding one of the new very modern 2011s in your hand. It shoots like one. Just an amazing gun. But I'll show you some of the close-ups over here. It says 320 right here on the side. It has a Sig Me on the side. And you can look at this texturing and see it's pretty aggressive, but not too aggressive. It's got it on each side, and it's going to show you that it's a 9mm, and as you can see, the serial number is only in the fire control group. So this whole grip module, if you were to buy one of these and convert a regular one over, you can buy just the grip module and have it shipped to your house. The firing control group on the inside, that's the part that's the firearm. But very neat weapon, very, very, very good range gun. I mean, I see you can do any kind of competitions with these things, and I think it could hold its own with them. Threaded barrel, if you want to be one of the ones that run a suppressor on a 9mm, and very great trigger on it. Have nothing bad to say about it. It's just a really neat weapon, and I'll do a comparison and show you one day some of the different size and shapes of the Sig 320. People either love them or they hate them. I mean, they got a bad rap when they first came out. I think one person, a police officer, dropped one and it accidentally discharged, and then they did a voluntary recall on them. You could send them back. Then they started improving the trigger groups on them, and I think they never got past that. But the military did choose to go with the 320 as their sidearm. They replaced the Beretta with it, so it can't really be that bad of a weapon, folks. But anyway, you have any questions on this gun, feel free to reach out to me. It is a very high quality weapon. It's not a cheap weapon, but feel free to reach out to me, and I will answer any questions that I can. And if I don't know the answer, as always, I'll figure it out for you. Thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.